Hey everyone, Jakus here, and today I'm going to be showing you all how I made a Fortnite creative battle royale game. Now if you don't know me, basically I made SNAPSHOTS, which is the ever-evolving story-driven 32-player battle royale game built entirely within the creative mode of this game. Now this battle royale is currently on season 3 and it's gone through many iterations with many map upgrades, downgrades, destructions, and all sorts of interesting updates, totaling over I think 20 updates since the game launched in January. So I thought it would be interesting to go through all 3 seasons so far and just take a look around, you know, see how I built things, you know, just have a nice look. So you can see I've got a lot of mechanics devices up here. I've got the loot pool for season 1, which was quite simplistic at the time. Over here we've got the legacy pass, which is basically my battle pass. You upgrade using score. We've got, what is this? Oh, there was a welcome message. Okay, I forgot about that. Yeah, so that's Spawn Island. It's quite simple. You know, it is what it is. It's just a nice little tropical island, and it's still here today. Relatively unchanged, and you'll see why I say relatively soon. Okay, so I'm just going to flash up an image of what the minimap looked like during this season, because of course this is an Excel map, so it doesn't show the full minimap. So this is the first notable POI. Well, firstly we've got these mountains, and yes, those are important because they look way different in later seasons. So yeah, these are the mountains for season 1. We've got this nice little Camp Cod inspired landmark down here, because you'll see on the map there's a little yellow name for Shifty Shore. That indicates that it's a landmark, and that will only appear on the minimap, not the overview map. But if we head up to the first POI here, we've got Retail Road. Now this is a nice little Retail Row inspired POI with what looks like a edited prefab. Don't worry, that will get changed in the future. I simply forgot that I placed a prefab as a placeholder and made it part of the game. We've got a Durr Burger, we've got a nice little basketball court, we've got just these nice little buildings, we've even got this banana shop, and this little housing area. Now I didn't really like this housing area, so it actually got removed in season 2, but we'll get to that eventually. Heading up north, we will find the Loop Tech bunker, a nice little Fallout reference there. This is just a basic little bunker. We've got the orchard over there, which at some point does get replaced by a cafe. Now coming up north, we've got Truckosaurus, this lovely guy from Fortnite Chapter 1, love him. And then we've got Frenzy Factory, and I don't know why it's called Frenzy Factory here, because in game it was called Slurpy Steps. But basically Slurpy Steps is this Steamy Stacks sort of Slurpy Swamp inspired POI with a nice little factory building here. They produce the slurp, and you can even stand down here, oh, didn't mean to face through the floor, and actually collect the slurp. Now you may be wondering what this is. This is an item orb. They're basically my chests. You collect one, basically just run through it, and it will give you a weapon, an item, and some ammo. This was the only place on the map you could find slurp trucks, and you'll see later that slurp trucks get entirely removed for a very destructive reason. So we'll move down here, and we have the shortest lived POI in the game, I believe, which is Fatal Farm. I don't know what happened in this archive, but it seems like Fatal Farm did have some of its buildings removed. There used to be a lot of corn here. I don't know if I've gone through. Okay, it looks like I've made a backup before, so I assume I was testing for season 2 in this map. But basically this is Fatal Farm. I'll throw up an image of it on the screen just so you guys can understand what it actually looked like. Heading up here we have the very bad Dusty Docks. Now this would eventually become Disco Docks, a much better POI that you will see later. It was very basic. We had cargo crates here, which was actually unnamed at the time. But yeah, this is basically me just wanting to have a Dusty Depot style thing, so I just threw down some Dusty buildings. You'll see that this is very representative of my evolution of a builder as time goes on, because this was made in 2021, and then the stuff in 2022 is a lot better. Alright, coming over here we have my own little rendition of Risky Reels. Now, something you've probably noticed about the Season 1 map is that it is very, very impractical to play on. And that's because Season 1 was sort of a testing ground for me. A lot of these issues would be ironed out later in Season 2, but they are still present here. This is the Battle Barn, a nice little Butter Barn inspired POI, or landmark rather, and It's actually NovaJ's favourite landmark, so there you go. Anyway, Rescue Rails. Yeah, it's very nice. It's more inspired by the Chapter 2 version. It's quite basic at this point, actually. Yeah, this map, it really is not that great. Coming up down here, we've got Sunny Springs. Now, I actually quite like this looking back. It's very simple. You've got the Lazy Link style building here. We've got a shop here. We've got a modern house. We've got this nice little football court that would actually open up in Season 2, and you will see that. We've got the farmhouse looking thing. They're all very white, and that's why Sunny Springs ended up getting destroyed. Coming down here, we've got the desert. Now, this has changed a lot. You've got compact cargo here. Now, this nice little landmark was actually removed pretty quickly. I think it was removed towards the end of Season 1. Honestly, I forgot it existed because I completely revamped the desert in Season 2, as you will see. We've got Arid Acres here, and now this is the first appearance of a faction that I like to call the Underground. They're basically the good guys of the map, if you will, fighting against the Order, which will first come in up at Dusty Docks there. Now, my friend made this nice little place, and I wanted to honour him, so I kept it for a while at least, until Season 3. So this is Colossal Canyon. It's a nice little canyon with a mysterious little bunker here that cannot be opened. I wonder what's in there. Spoiler alert, nothing's in there. Now, this is the most popular location in the game's history. This is Timber Towers, and it's quite beloved. It's got a massive facelift later on. For example, this No Sweat building is gone. This like office building is gone. I think these stayed. These were gone. But yeah, it's got the pizza pit. It's got the big shots, and you'll see that this area is completely revamped in the Season 2 Spring Map update, which is also what sort of overhauled the desert. Flora Forest, I used the cube trees for this. I don't know why, I just like them more than the normal ones. And finally, we have Lush Lake. Now this is my nice little center POI, and oh, here's an interesting thing you can see. Firefly jars. Fireflies have been a reoccurring part of the game since the version 1.20 update, so very early in, but originally they looked like this. You would just find a firefly jar on the ground, but then Epic Games actually went and added the firefly spawner, so these got replaced in halfway through Season 2, I believe, or possibly towards the end of Season 1, and this is just an older version. Okay, here we go, Season 2. Now you'll see that Spawn Island looks pretty much the same, except this big hole has appeared, because this is where the Underground and the Order really start to fight. So moving off to the mainland, you can already see the improvement in the mountain range here, and this is opened up. Now this is an Underground POI, meaning that basically there's bosses and bots here that you could fight. And yes, there is the wrong logos here, because I wasn't sure what the Underground's logo would be at first. So I tested some things out, but you know, that is what it is. So you would come in here, you would fight this guard, grab the mythic minigun, grab the boss key or the jewel, and then you would basically come up here through this sort of skydive volume, down here, if I can actually fit through the thing, yeah, okay, and you would scan it and go through the vault. So yeah, this season did have vaults, which was quite fun. So heading out here, you can see the top has opened up. This is a very grotto inspired location, and the doorway seems to have disappeared. There was something there before. You can see Retail Road is in a bit of a ruin here, and yeah, this is where I decided that I wanted to remove the houses, so in a mid-season update I actually did get rid of those. And coming over up here, we can see that Slurpy Steps is still here. However, later in the season this did actually get replaced by a big volcano. I will put an image of that up on screen now, because I don't believe I have a map archive with the volcano in it, but it was in the game for about 6 weeks, I believe. Coming down to Lush Lake, absolutely nothing has changed. It's still got the Firefly spawner, so yeah, that was definitely Season 2 those changed. We've got Risky Rails, where again, absolutely nothing has changed. We've got Dusty Docks, where nothing. You see, the point is not much changed, alright, and I don't know why there are no names on the map. But if you come up here, you can see that this is where Secret Springs started to change. And that's what it was called at this time, because if you come over here, it's a bit glitchy, but it opened up to reveal another boss. I don't know where the bosses all are, but they were here. And yeah, throughout the season, basically more of this area collapsed before it became the Coral Cove POI in version 2.30. And you'll notice that I do like to have a lot of mid-season map changes that aren't necessarily covered here, but don't worry, I've got the screenshots for all of those. Not much has really changed, except there's now a banana here, I guess, because this is still before the overhaul, I believe, yeah. But you can see that I have started to upgrade a lot of stuff. For example, here we've got this nice little mountain area now. We've even got a waterfall over here. Just a nice little simple waterfall. Yep, not really sure what there is to say about that. Again, not much has changed here, except I've started to change the buildings and timber towers to be a little bit more original and use less of the Fortnite like style buildings, which I think is a great change overall. And well, yeah, not really much changed. Okay, it's time for Season 3. Now this is where the game really started to come into its own, and I really started to come into my own as a content creative or Fortnite creative. Firstly, you'll see that I've recently upgraded the mountains again, and they look spectacular using the brand new terrain pieces that we got in the version 20.30 update, I believe. Spawn Island is now only used for the pre-game session in Discover, and it's quite overtaken by mysterious crystals. The buses have been like smashed up into the air. It's just a nice place now, and there's no longer that weird like sky dome. I think I removed that in Season 2 as well. Moving over to Retail Road, you can already see some improvements. We've got these nice little buildings which are much more original than they once were. We've got the nice mall, we've got the nice little pawn shop. It's very nice. The banana place has changed a little bit. The houses are gone, it's a lot smoother now. We've got this little police car because they removed police cars for some reason. Now coming up here, you can see here we've got the jungle. Okay, so this is slanty steps. This is the remains of Slurpy steps. We've got the remains of several landmarks that were added throughout Season 2. And coming over here, you can see this is where the volcano was, but now this is Tumble Temple. Now this is the most recent POI to get added to the game. This was added just this week as we're recording this, because the volcano erupted, got destroyed, leaving this lovely little temple behind. Now you'll come down here, we'll see that Station 99 is now here, which is a much better location in my opinion, and it's probably my favourite landmark in the entire game. Laura Forest over here has received a little bit of an update. It's got the invasion trees now. This is part of a story thing where it's just a wave of enchantment going across the island. Originating from here, this is the core. This is a boss POI. This is like a mysterious location right where Lush Lake once stood. So rip Lush Lake. You can see Timber Towers is finally in its perfect form. I mean, it's a bit destroyed because there was a massive drill that came after it at the end of Season 2. But you can see the pizza pit's been shut down. It's taken over by the Underground, who actually have a proper logo now. We've got a few buildings still standing. An Easter egg here from Easter. A nice little Nom's shop still. We've got this big tunnel which is inspired by the Tomato Town one, and I like it because it's cool, and you've got this little like door that you can go through and head on up, you know. Heading into the desert, we can see it's finally being like overhauled. We've got the brand new Condo Canyon style desert rocks. We've got this nice little path that goes all the way through to the new Logjam place. Nicely there, just sat in the corner. We've got this Sandy Sanctuary, which is like the Underground's main headquarters. This is like their main base of operations. There's another boss sat in here. Heading up to here, we can see a completely different place. This is Caddy Core. So this is like Sunny Springs, but way better. And you can see if we head underground, we can see the remains of Coral Cove just chilling down here, waiting for what? I don't know. I don't know why that's there either. That's not meant to be there. Heading up here, we've got Crystal Castle, which is a Super Mario 64 inspired castle. You can even head on inside, you know, and go around, check it out. It's quite a small POI. It was just a cool thing that I decided to make. Heading over to Risky Rails, again, absolutely nothing has changed, although it is nicely improved now. Got a bit of a lag there. You'll notice that I've got a lot of more like mountains and things that I just added throughout the seasons. I think have just added to the gameplay experience quite a bit, you know, just to make the world feel that bit more diverse. Disco Docks. It's finally actually Disco Docks. This happened in Season 2, and now it's been taken over by the Order, and they're building this big thing. There is actually currently an Overship, which is like a giant mothership in the sky over here, but I have removed it in this build so I can properly show Disco Docks. You can see there's an underground drill here. And, well, yeah, I think that's pretty much everything on the map. That's the point we're at. We've got these nice little shacks just lying around, this nice house inspired by Chapter 1 house. We've even got this water over here, which is now using the water device so you can dynamically interact with it. And, well, just between you and me, but there is a secret hiding behind this waterfall. 3 chests. That's the waterfall secret landmark. Every game developer should have a waterfall. If you don't, die. And, well, there we have it. That's all of the map iterations so far. I cannot show you the Season 4 map yet, although it has begun production, because that would be a huge spoiler for the season ahead, but I can tell you it is absolutely insane, and it is the best variation of this map yet, and I am so excited to share it with all of you. Thank you all for the support on the Snapshots game. It's been truly mind-blowing how many people actually care about this game now. Never thought I'd get to this point, and it's so awesome to finally be at this point where I can just make updates that people actually get excited for. So thank you again for the support, and I will see you all next time, which will probably be soon, maybe, if I actually continue with consistent uploads, which I probably won't because I suck at uploading videos.
Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you. Come along and see it's true, but the world is